Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana
Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira
Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja
Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashata Shishimat His Divine Grace Shila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashata Shishimat His Divine Grace Shila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shiguru and Shigoranga. All glories to Shila Prabhupada. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Pralatananda Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome. Thank you for coming. This is for Srila Prabhupada, this is probably the most important festival. If you look in Veda base, you search for classes on appearance and disappearance days. You search. You want one class about appearance of Lord Nityananda. Maybe you find one class, something else. And you find from every year, you find one class about the appearance day of Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj. There's this incident. Burijan Prabhu was preaching in Hawaii, in Japan, I think. Hong Kong. Okay, thank you. And Srila Prabhupada came, and it was appearance day or disappearance day of Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj. And at 11 o'clock or something like that, 11:30, Srila Prabhupada comes up and he says, "What is the offering for Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj?" And Burijan Prabhu said, Prabhupada, here is people don't like day program, so we're getting practical, and offering is in the evening. So Srila Prabhupada was really angry. He said, "No, Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj has to have his offering for lunch." So he went in the kitchen, Srila Prabhupada, and he cooked himself. He cooked a feast, and then they took the feast for Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj. That's just as a side note about how important this was for Srila Prabhupada. I have some notes, and then also there's this movie by Gaudiya Math devotees. So we'll make a mix. Today I had some notes, and then Ananta Prabhu said, we wrote a video projection on the, okay, so I said, okay, let's have some video. So we'll have some parts of this movie, and we'll comment and add some things which are not in the movie, or comment a bit more on the things that are in the movie. So okay, we'll start with part one. It's about the early life of Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj. In the class we were hearing this morning from Srila Prabhupada, he's explaining that the elevated personalities like Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj, their appearance and disappearance are not like ours. So we should never think. Thank you. We should never think that they are normal personalities and they are should be under the laws, the same laws that we are under. Srila Prabhu, it said that Krishna comes on his own accord, and also the advanced devotees come on their own accord. So that's very important. So let's start with something about the early life. Usually, Srila Prabhupada was more into philosophy. So, but we'll also have some aspects from the early life of Srila Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj. We show that he was not really ordinary person. So, okay, let's start with this one.
Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure Prabhupada was born in Orissa at Jagannath Puri on February the 6th, 1874, as the seventh child of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srimati Bhagavati. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a government official and was in charge of the Jagannath temple in Puri. In his spiritual life, Bhaktivinoda was a great pioneer of the Krishna consciousness movement. At the time, when the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had all but been lost or distorted by unscrupulous persons, such as the Sakhi beggars, Bhaktivinoda began publishing numerous papers, journals and books, establishing the pure teachings of Sri Chaitanya. By his personal character, he restored dignity to the Gaudiya Vaishnava community. Bhaktivinoda prayed fervently to Lord Jagannath to kindly send him someone who would be capable of preaching the message of Sri Chaitanya. Upon the birth of his seventh child, Bhaktivinoda realized after observing a series of divine events that his newborn son was indeed the answer to his prayers. Accordingly, Bhaktivinoda named his son Bimala Prasad, meaning the mercy of Lord Jagannath, or one who revealed to the world the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. His sons receiving the blessings of Lord Jagannath during the annual Ratha Yatra festival when he was only 5 months old was noted by Bhaktivinoda as a direct confirmation of the divinity of his son. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada shares with us the memory of this event.
When my spiritual master appeared at Jagannath Puri, he was the son of a very big government office, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a magistrate, and in those days a magistrate is a big officer in the government, practically next to governor. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was in charge of the Jagannath temple. So there was Ratha Yatra festival, and the car was passing in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. The car stopped before his house, and at that time, Srila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure, a child in the lap of his mother, the mother took the opportunity of rising on the car. He was magistrate's wife, so he had the facility. Immediately, people gave her a way to go in on the top of the car and place the child on the lotus feet of Jagannath, and there were many garlands. One garland fell upon it. Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija, blessing.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur moved his family to Calcutta the same year as Saraswati Thakur's birth, and later, in 1881, Bhaktivinoda constructed Bhakti Bhavan, the family's residence and place of bhajan. While digging the foundation for the house, Bhaktivinoda found a Kurma Shalagram Shila. He then placed 7-year-old Saraswati Thakur in charge of the daily worship of the Shalagram, which still remains at Bhakti Bhavan. Saraswati Thakur was indeed an exceptional personality who always showed keen interest in spiritual life. By the age of 7, he was assisting his father in proofreading the Sajjana Toshni, a monthly spiritual journal. That same year, he received Harinam initiation with Tulsi beads and Narasingha mantra from Bhaktivinoda. As a primary student at the Sri Rampur Christian Missionary School, Saraswati Thakur quickly mastered his general studies. Later, in 1885, while under the tutelage of Pandit Mahesh Chandra Chudamani and Pandit Sundarlal, he excelled in Sanskrit, mathematics and Vedic astrology. He was thus awarded the honorific title of Siddhanta Sarasvati, meaning one whose knowledge and scholarship are blessed by the goddess of learning. That title was to remain with him for life.
So we have just some incidents. There's many more from the early life of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. The point is that you can see from his birth that he is not an ordinary personality. he comes as a result of the prayers of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has as main contribution that he just put the Vaishnavism back as an honorable occupation. Before that, people would think that Vaishnavism was equated with Prakrita Sahajas, very cheap, very a lot of deviations. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he put it back on the, and then he was praying for someone to help him to continue this mission. So that was one incident which was described in this video. It's when during Ratha Yatra the garland from Lord Jagannath fell on little Bhaktisiddhanta, who was to be Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. There's many other incidents. It's explained in that their identities are connected also in the spiritual world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Krishna Lila is called Kamalan Manjari, and Srila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija is his eternal assistant. It's called Nayana Manjari. So it's not an ordinary personality. It's one of the Manjaris who is coming, and there's apparently also a prediction in Padma Purana that there's a very elevated, pure, and learned personality would appear in Purushottama Kshetra to spread the glories of Lord Jagannath all over the world. His activities would be very unique. This fits with Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija. You have this Indian, you have this incident. Then you have during this first grain ceremony. There's this ceremony. They give first grains, and then he was given Jagannath Prasadam. So that's why they call him Vimala. Vimala is who is taking first grain, first prasadam from Lord Jagannath. And what's interesting during this ceremony, usually the children they are offered some items to choose from. So they are to decide which caste they are, or which type of personalities they are. And he was offering some Lakshmi and Shrimad Bhagavatam. So he chose Shrimad Bhagavatam. It's very indicative and very consequential for his later teachings. That because from external perspective, many times the Acharya doesn't come in a Brahmin family. He doesn't come into highly elevated family from material point of view. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, although a highly elevated personality, he's a Kayasta, which depends how you look. Some people think Kayastas are Kshatriya, some people think they are Shudras. But they are not Brahmanas. But you can see that it's obvious that from birth that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj is not a Kayasta. His natural inclination is to study, to be interested in spiritual realization, Srimad Bhagavatam, and also. Okay, I'll just mention one. A few more incidents from his childhood. When he was a boy, he had this his older brother Achyutananda, and he got sick. He had a disease, and Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was chanting constantly for 6 days. He was chanting Hare Krišna for him. Now, when we have some sick devotees, we chant 1 hour, 2 hours, and hey, Prabhu, prasada. When's prasada? That's. But he was chanting for 6 days without eating, and after 6 days, this Ramanuja Tilak appeared on the forehead of his brother, and he said, I'm actually a Ramanuja Vaishnava, and I made some offense to Gaudiya Vaishnavas in my past life. So now I'm freed, now I'm relieved, and he just left the body. Hare Krishna. So the point is that the potency of the Acharya, it doesn't come by some practice. It's not that he didn't have any potency, and somehow he became an Acharya, and now he has some potency. No, you can see that from very birth he has this potency. Like you can see also Lord Krishna. He's killing Putana when he's a child. So the potency is already there. And one more incident I will just mention. There's Bhaktisiddhante Thakur. He took initiation from someone called Bipin Bihari Goswami. Of course, we know we're more interested in Shiksha lineage, and he took mostly Shiksha from Jagannadas Babaji. And then one day, Bhaktisiddhante Thakur met Bipin Bihari Goswami, and he offered dandavats, and Bipin Bihari Goswami put his foot on his head. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur left, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said, do you know who is my father? My father is Anitya Siddha. Do you have the potency to put your foot on his head? Bhaktisiddhanta was there, and Bipin Bihari Goswami said, your son is very bold. So you can see the same personality that Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj had. He was always very bold in saying what he had to say. He didn't, beat around the bush, as they say. He was very, very, very bold. Okay, we'll go to the second part. I think this one. This is more about his later life. Okay.
By 1940, Saraswati Thakure had become widely recognized as a stalwart preacher in the Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya. The numerous branches of Bengali pseudo-spiritualists, such as Gauranagaris, Baals, Sakivekis, Smartas, Ativadis, and Jati Gosais, cowered in fear before this great personality. The mission of Sri Chaitanya was now in good hands, and Mayapur was beginning to flourish. In a letter, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave Saraswati Thakur specific instructions for establishing Daivi Varanashram, the divine social system based on service to Krishna, for preaching Krishna consciousness to the masses, for publishing devotional books, for serving Sri Ram Mayapur, and for establishing the annual circumambulation of Navadvip Dham. Not long after giving these instructions, Bhaktivinoda Thakur concluded his earthly pastimes and attained the eternal realm of Gaur Vrindavan. On June 23, 1914, precisely at noon, Bhaktivinoda entered the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, far beyond the vision of the conditioned souls of this world. The next year, on November 17, 1915, Gaurkishore Das Babaji also left this mortal world for the eternal pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Saraswati Thakur then placed his Gurudev's body in Samadhi. Within 2 years, both the gurus of Saraswati Thakur, Gaurkishore Das Babaji, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur had departed from this world. Saraswati Thakur felt deep separation from his affectionate gurus and was thus thinking how he would be able to fulfill the desires of his spiritual masters. Then, one night, while contemplating the instructions of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he saw a vision that Sri Chaitanya had arrived at Yogavit temple with all his associates amid the sound of Krishna Sankirtan. With him, the 6 Goswamis, Jagannath Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Gokishore Das Babaji, all of whom spoke encouraging words for Saraswati Thakur to boldly preach the message of Sri Chaitanya and assured him of all success. Soon after, Saraswati Thakur found a piece of torn paper carried by the wind. The paper contained a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, wherein Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Sanatana Goswami. From this verse, Saraswati Thakur derived 4 codes that would become the foundation of his missionary activities: to publish Krishna conscious literature, to teach the principles of devotional service, to open centers for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, and to teach people how to perform renunciation. That same year, Kunja Bihari Gadibhushan became a disciple of Saraswati Thakur and began assisting him in spreading Sri Chaitanya's message. Kunja Bihari Gadibhushan, later to become Bhaktivilas Tirtha Maharaj, became the head organizer and manager of all of Saraswati Thakur's preaching efforts.
For anyone struggling with memory, do not drink cold water. You've probably heard that memory decline is just...
Okay, don't drink cold water.
Gave considerable thought to the necessary steps to be taken in order to widely spread the Sankirtan movement. Having received direct intimation from both his gurus and from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly, Saraswati Thakur resolved to accept Tridandi Sannyas, the renounced order of life, on the occasion of the 432nd Appearance Day anniversary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on March the 7th, 1918. Thus, he became known as Tridandi Goswami Sri Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija. He then established his preaching headquarters nearby Yogapith at Sri Chaitanya Mat, where he installed deities of Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhar. The Bhagavad printing press was set up at Chaitanya Mat, and the presses worked constantly printing the message of Sri Chaitanya. That same year, a house was rented at Ultadanga Junction Road in Calcutta, and a flurry of preaching and Sankirtan activities began. Many educated and influential people of Calcutta, such as Jagat Bandhu Datta and Sakhicharan Rai, came to the Ultadanga house to hear the lectures of Saraswati Thakur, and later became his initiated disciples. The place of preaching was called Bhaktivinoda Asana, meaning the place of the conception of Bhaktivinoda. Soon thereafter, he awarded Tridandi Sannyas to Sri Jagadish Bhakti Pradeep, a disciple of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and conferred upon him the title Bhakti Pradeep Tirtha. Tridandi Sannyas is the lifelong vow of unconditional service to the Supreme Lord, with body, mind, and words. In 1920, the deities of Sri Sri Gaura Vinod Ananda were installed at Bhaktivinoda Asana in Calcutta, and the spiritual institution for the widespread propagation of the Sankirtan movement under the name Gaudiya Math officially started. In 1921, the annual Navadvip Mandal Parikram began from Yogapith, and thousands of pilgrims and devotees attended. In 1924, the first Vyasa Puja, celebrating the 50th Appearance Day anniversary of Saraswati Thakur, was held at the Gaudiya Math in Calcutta. In 1925, during the Navadvip Mandal Parikram, Saraswati Thakur and his disciples were physically attacked by an angry mob of caste-conscious Brahmins, Pandits, and hired thugs in Navadvip. At that time, Vinod Vihari Das, later to become Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, performed the heroic act of exchanging dress with Saraswati Thakur and diverting the mob while Saraswati Thakur was taken to safety. That year, the Vyasa Puja of Saraswati Thakur was held in Cuttack in Orissa, and he was given the title Prabhupada, meaning at whose feet many masters have taken shelter. 1926 and 1927 saw the publication of the daily Bengali newspaper Nadia Prakash and the monthly English journal The Harmonist. Not a day went by, nor a moment in a day, where Saraswati Thakur was not preaching and propagating the message of Sri Chaitanya. He gave much importance to the publication of Krishna conscious literature and called the printing press the Brihat Mridanga. Saraswati Thakur often said that the Kartala Mridanga in Sankirtan can be heard nearby, but the printing press can be heard around the world. In the course of 18 years, from 1918 to 1937, Saraswati Thakure published important literatures of the six Goswamis, such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Hari Bhakti Vilas, and Sakriya Sadipika. He published the Bhagavad Gita commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baladev Vidibhushana. He also published Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the works of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the 5th chapter of Brahma Samhita, and Sri Vyasadev's Srimad Bhagavad. Saraswati Thakur's writing and publishing was indeed monumental. During these
We'll comment on this part a bit. Yeah, there's many things mentioned there. You heard the story about the initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji many times, so I'll skip that part. So I'll say some other things. One interesting incident when Gaur Kishore Das Babaji left the body, he gave instructions that he will be dragged on the street, you know. And local Babajis actually wanted to do it. So they tied a rope around the neck, and they were thinking to drag him. And Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj came and said, "What are you doing? Yeah, we're Babajis. We have the right to this. You're not a Babaji. You have no idea. So you have no right." "Yeah, but I am his only disciples." "Yes, but..." And then Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj became very heavy. He said, "Okay, you are Babajis. You have your sense fully controlled. Whoever didn't do any illicit activities in the past year can come forward." No one. And I said, "Okay, 1 month?" No one. 1 day? No one. Then he said, "Okay, so we'll take Gaur Kishore Das Babaji." Body. Of course, a Vaishnava like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is very humble, and he says this body is useless, but we shouldn't think that Krishna also thinks like that. So Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj makes sure that he is put in properly into samadhi with all the respect due to such an elevated personality. Another incident is mentioned here about sannyas. So Srila Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj he went to South India, and he was consulting with the devotees from the Ramanuja Sampradaya about the role of sannyas in Vaishnava tradition. Because there was this idea that sannyas is for Mayavadi, there's only this sannyas. And then these devotees from Ramanuja Sampradaya were also confirming that yes, Tridandi sannyas is valid and it's bona fide and it's there in the Vaishnava culture. And then Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj, he actually took sannyas from the picture of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. Which is not the typical case, but for an elevated personality can be done, not to be imitated. A bit on his contribution and how this incident on the parikram came to happen. There is this incident because Bhaktivinoda Thakur was constantly fighting the Apa Sampradayas. There's mostly 13 main Apa Sampradayas, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very active in exposing them and showing that they are not bona fide, they are not following the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And one incident is at some point the caste brahmanas were upset because Bhaktivinoda Thakur was showing that yes, according to Shastra, like Srila Prabhupada says many times, if your father is a doctor, then that doesn't make you automatically a doctor. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was exposing this, and so they were challenged, and the caste brahmanas reacted. They said, "Hey," and they made an assembly, Smarta Brahmanas and caste Goswamis. And they invited Vaishnavas, okay. And the Vaishnavas held a 3-day public meeting to discuss position of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was expected to be the main speaker. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur got sick. And he was so upset. And then he was praying, is there no one who can challenge these rascals? And then Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija said, no problem, I will go. And the interesting thing is that neither Bhaktivinoda Thakur and neither Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj were born in a Brahminical family. But obviously they had this qualification. So Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj he published this article, Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So first part, he's glorifying the Brahmanas, and then everyone was so happy. Yeah, Brahmanas, Jai. And at this meeting, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj was the first speaker, and he presented very nicely first the qualification of the Brahmanas, and he glorified the Brahmanas, and then he showed from the revealed Shastras that the Vaishnavas are superiors to the Brahmanas. And when it was time to, and then he finished, and then it's time for, okay, anyone, any comments? No. Okay. Nobody dared to make any comments. So Srila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija was very good in and very boldly preaching against any deviation. His main mood, he was known as Simha Guru, Lion Guru. Zero tolerance for deviations. This deviation. And he even says, I will read something because sometimes people will say it's not good to criticize others. You do your positive preaching, you tell about Krishna consciousness, and you leave us others nicely. And also, this is Srila Prabhupada also had this. Okay, I'll just read from Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj. He says, the positive method by itself is not the most effective method of propaganda in a controversial age like the present. The negative method, which seeks to differentiate the truth from non-truth in all its form, is even better calculated to convey the directly inconceivable significance of the Absolute. It is a necessity which cannot be conscientiously avoided by the dedicated preacher of the truth if he wants to be a loyal servant of Godhead. The method is sure to create an atmosphere of controversy in which it is quite easy to lose one's balance of judgment. But the ways of the deluding energy are so intricate that unless their mischievous nature is fully exposed, it is not possible for the soul in the conditioned state to avoid the snares spread by the enchantress Maya for encompassing the ruin of her only two willing victims. It is a duty which shall be sacred to all who have been enabled to attain even a distant glimpse of the Absolute. So the point is that Srila Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj says that it's we have to do positive preaching, but we also have to expose apasampradayas. We have to expose deviations. What do you think about this organization? Maybe not first thing, But if there are some deviations, you have to expose them. Yes, this organization, very nice. They claim to be Vaishnavas, but this is not like that. This is not like that. This is not like that. And it's the duty of the preacher, because otherwise people are anyway confused, and it's not clear for people. Okay, this is the Vaishnava path, and this is a deviation from the Vaishnava path. So that's one of the most important contributions, that he was fighting all the deviations. And then, of course, he had enemies. When you preach like that, the way Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj was preaching, not everyone will like it. Especially those people you are exposing, like the caste brahmanas. So there's this incident which was there that they during this parikrama in Vrindavan, they were attacking the devotees with rocks. It was quite bloody. It was not a nice thing. And this disciple, he had this idea. Okay, how about me and Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj? We change clothes. He gets my normal clothes, probably white dhoti and so on. He escapes, and I will be, a target. So the point is that this is expected to happen. So this also happened in Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj's life. Another thing Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj introduced was the concept of Yukta Vairagya. Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj, when at some point he had this vow of chanting 192 rounds every day, and he was living very simply in Mayapur, and he had a hut, and the roof was not even, he didn't even bother to fix the roof. Whenever it was raining, he would just use an umbrella, just continue chanting. So that was the inner renunciation. But for preaching, he used very, very fancy things. He had a limousine when nobody else had a limousine. It was like very rare that they have. He used the latest technology. He approved the latest technology for preaching. He approved the big temples. He approved, but also he was warning the disciples that be careful. Don't use it for preaching. If you use it for something else, big problems. And that's what actually happened with this Bagh Bazar temple. Because the tendency is to get, as they call it, sticky fingers. You tend to, this is for preaching, Prabhu. Okay, it's for preaching. And this is for me. So we should always keep in mind that for our use, we should become very, very detached. For preaching, yes, of course, Srila Prabhupada once said, they were asking him, why he has this meeting in a big hotel. She said, Srila Prabhupada said, I can have this meeting under a tree, but you wouldn't come. So that's the difference between the inner mood and the external, Intrinsically, the devotee doesn't need anything. Okay, there's some little prasadam, something, somewhere to sleep. For preaching, yes, people will come and they want to see some civilized temple, nice reception, this, that, this. Yes. But for ourselves, simple. Little prasadam, somewhere to sleep, no problem. So that was, so he used, he even went in a car to Radhakund. People were like shocked. So Srila Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj showed that this principle of Yukta Vairagya, you can use everything for preaching. He had he introduced dioramas, he introduced so many innovations. Whenever the important guests would come, he would organize a nice reception for them. So, but for himself, I can live under a tree, no problem. I can live in a hut, just chant Hare Krishna. He actually did that. So that's a very important point. And his main contribution, or one of his most important contribution, is the printing press. Not many people had a printing press at that point, but he had 3. So I'll just read some comments about that. One is from Srila Prabhupada, a lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, the 6 Goswamis, they engage themselves in literary work. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika. They are, you'll find in Rupa Goswami's books. Oh, how many references are there? From Puranas, from Vedas, from this literature, that literature. Highly great scholars. So that is one of the duty. We have given the list of qualification of a devotee. One of the qualification is poetic. Poetic means not to write poetry. Poetic means literary man. They must give literature. Naturally, they'll give. That is the nature of devotee. Because without literature, how can we enlighten the people at large? My Guru Maharaj used to say that this press is Brihad Mridanga. Brihad Mridanga means bigger, at large, bigger Mridanga, bigger. Just like we are playing Mridanga. This Mridanga can be vibrated in the neighboring quarter, but our Mridanga, back to Godhead, that will go far, far away. So therefore this press was considered by my Guru Maharaj as Brihad Mridanga. He said, you'll find in the picture, there is the Mridanga and press. He was very much fond of press. In the very beginning of this life, he started one press. So this press propaganda, this literary propaganda is required because it's not sentiment. Krishna consciousness is not sentiment. It is not that some sentimental people have gathered here and dancing and chanting. No, there is background, there is philosophical background, there is theological understanding. It is not blind or sentimental. So this one, and there's also this famous incident at Radhakund. Actually, Srila Prabhupada came to this meeting, and someone has donated some land. And he told this to Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj, and Maharaj has accepted. And then he said, Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj, he continued, there is no need of establishing many temples. Better we publish some books, he said like that. He said that we started this Gaudiya Math in Uttadanga. The rent was very small, and if we could get there 2 to 250 rupees, it was very nice going on. But since this has given us this stone, marble stone, Thakurabari, our competition between the disciples have increased. So I don't like anymore. Rather, I would prefer to take out the marble and sell it and publish some books. So I took this point, and he also especially advised me that if you get money, you try to publish books. So by his blessing, it has become very successful by our cooperation. Now our books are being sold all over the world, and it is very satisfactory sale. So on this particular day of Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure's advent, try to remember his words, that he wanted that many books should be published about our philosophy, and they should be given to the English-knowing public, especially probably Slovenian public also, because English language is now world language. So that's one of the important contributions of Bhaktisiddhante Maharaj. I'll just finish with this next part.
Many Krishna conscious literatures were published, and many new temples were opened. Krishna consciousness in India was flourishing, but the prediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that the holy name of Krishna would be spread in every town and village around the world remained a great mystery. All that was about to change in 1959, when Abhay Charan Dey accepted the renounced order of life and became A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. For several years, Bhaktivedanta Swami prepared himself for a journey that would literally affect the lives of every man, woman and child living on this planet. In 1965, Bhaktivedanta Swami set sail on the good ship Jaladuta, bound for the United States. He carried with him a trunk of newly published volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam with commentary in English.
More than 7 million people around the world
Embarking from the Jaladuta at New York City, Lord Krishna began to make Bhaktivedanta Swami dance, the effect of which would ignite the Sankirtan movement on a global scale. In 12 short years, Bhaktivedanta Swami, then known as Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, was responsible for millions of Krishna conscious literatures being distributed in dozens of languages around the world. Temples and places of worship were established, prasadam, the mercy of Lord Krishna, was distributed to millions, and thousands of Western men and women embraced the holy name of Krishna and the teachings of Lord Chaitanya.
Take advantage of this movement to make your life perfect. Go back to home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Due to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Hare Krishna had become a household word in Western countries. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada commented many times that his success was only due to the blessings of his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure. In the 1980s and 90s, the words of other prominent preachers of the Sankirtan movement, such as those of Bhakti Raksha Sridhar Maharaj and Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj,
Shila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Maharaj ki Jai, Shila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Zadnju točku, pred zadnju točku, to je Pušpanjali. Hare Krišna. Se pravi, Pušpanjali je obred, s katerim bhakte, učenci in vsi sledilci v Božanski univerziti še Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure se nekako ponovno zavežemo, da sledimo njegova navodila njegovo, se pravi, obnovimo našo predajo za obljube. Tako da, tisti, ko ne veste, se pravi, razdelili bomo cvetje za 3-krat, se pravi, za 3 runde. Recitirali bomo mangalačarane molitve 3-krat. Najprej dolgo verzijo, potem pa še 2-krat samo pranamantre Ljubljanskega ministra Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija. Tako da, razvedite na cvetje najprej. Okrog slike se zberemo, tle okrog oltarja Bhaktisiddhante. Hare Krišna. Śrīla Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure Swami Maharaj ki jai. Se pravi, ponavljamo. Om Agyana Timirandasya Granjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshcham Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sa Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Anitam Sham Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Gaura Kisharaya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambodhe Padambujaya Te Namaha Namo Bhaktivedanta Sachit Anandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Varibhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshtam Sajjana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripasindubhyam Evacha Patitanam Pavenebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupam Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktyakhyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhaktisiddhante Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdabdye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shirupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shrimurtaye Dina Tarine Rupanuga Viruda Apasidanta Dvanta Harine. Se poznate prvo rundo cvetja, pa z meditacijo ponudimo sliki Šrila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija in damo spoštovanje. S tem pa tudi damo svoje srce. Esha Pushpanjali Šrila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure Goswami Šrila Prabhupada ki jai. Druga runda, krajša. Bomo samo Prabhupada oprana mantra in Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija. Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Paschatyam Deshatarine Namahom Vishnupadaaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija iti namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdavdye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhurojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Tarine Rupanuga Viruda Apisiddhanta Dvanta Harine. Druga runda cvetja, darujemo po srce. Esha Pushpanjali. Shila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Goswami Maharaja ki jai. Poštovanje. Še zadnji krok. Z vsem srcem, kaj ga premoremo. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhante Swamin iti namine Namaste Sarasvatija Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija iti namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Tarine Rupanuga Virudha Apasiddhanta Dvanta Harine. Ще задна рунда цветя и задна рунда сърца за полюбите нашего odnosa за Esha Pushpanjali. Shila Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure Goswami Avirbhava Mahotsava ki jai. Kirtan, Kirtan.
Hare Krišna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashata Shishimat His Divine Grace Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashata Shishimat His Divine Grace Shri Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Ramacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kundir Radha Kundgiri Govardhan Ki Vrindavanadam Ki Jai Maturadam Ki Jai Gamai Ki Jai Namai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtanya Ki Jai Transcendental Book Production and Distribution Ki Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada.
Bhaktisiddhante Sarasvatija Thakure Avivah Mahotsava Ki Jai.